So you mentioned being fully prepared walking into the parole board hearing room. Tell me about you walking in that parole board hearing room, and how did you feel about your preparation at that time?
Well, I felt to the maximum. I want to say something. So before I went into the parole board about eight son, a guy walked up to me while I was in the shower and asked me, how much do I believe in myself? I told him I believe in myself 1,000%. And he told me that your life is in somebody else's hand. So why is it that you feel that way? I said, I feel that way because I have confidence in the work that I've done. I put in the work. My work ethic shows I'm gonna continuously work and thrive to be a better person because this is actually who I
Amen.
am. It isn't somebody who I'm pretending to be. It's somebody who I actually am. So I asked the man not to project your insecurities onto me. Let me go in here and understand that what I have already is a grant. And I can take that grant from myself if I walk in here not being fully prepared and understand who I am. It's not arrogance. What it is having trust and believing in the process.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that. I sometimes have to remind clients sometimes to say, trust the process, trust the process. I know it's rough right now, but I'm gonna go through it with you each step of the way. Um, Tell me about the preparation work that you and I did. Now, we did a lot of things back and forth. You did certificate courses, you dug into, and you had already been on that path, but you saw a few things different with Posse courses, and you just excelled in all of those courses. Tell me about the coursework you did with Posse. How did that help you? How did that mold you going forward, or aid you in being more prepared for the hearing?
Well, it aided me in me understanding what responsibilities was and knowing the steps that I took to put myself in a bad situation where I can stop blaming other people, but also be able to realize what situations I put myself in and dig myself out of. Nobody else can help me with that other than myself. And you just gave me the extra umbrella to be able to help me come down the chimney
Oh,
and make sure things was done right and properly. So outside of that, when I
wonderful.
say like anger management and things like that, I was able to look at myself and be able to say, hey, what is my alternative thinking? How can I do something better and make sure that I have coping skills that'll help me through this? Anything that I'm going through, where I won't sit in front of somebody and I actually show them a demeanor that shouldn't be shown in the moment.
Right, right. Very good, very good. So, we spoke after you got granted parole. So, remind me when you were granted. You remember the date, right?
Yes, November 28th. I mean November 18th. November 18th.
Wow. November 18th, 2025.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, in preparation for the actual hearing, we know we do all the book work, the class work, the course work, everything. And then a few months before the actual hearing of November 18th, so back in probably September, around probably September, we started doing mock hearings. We're on the phone.
Yeah.
And take me through that process.
I say that process was amazing. I had a conversation with a guy named Phil White about that and let him know that they have a lot of mock hearings inside of prison. None of the mock hearings was nowhere near close to myself sitting down and actually having an in-depth conversation and being able to translate exactly what needed to be translated in my articulation, with understanding what's transpiring in the moment. The question that you asked was more familiar with what the board had in store for me. That's why it didn't take me so long when I sat in there in front of them folks and had the conversation what needed to be transpired. That's why I had that conversation. They said, hey, man, you're just too transparent at any given situation. I don't understand. You have the right things. You know exactly what's going on. There's no way possible that we can't give you a grant here today. This is yours.
Wow. Wow. Wow.